everybody, welcome to the channel. This is the start, the kickoff of Vlogmas for 2025. The title of Vlogmas this year is Northbound, a tarot Vlogmas. It's pretty straightforward. So, as you know, my channel's name, True North Tarot. What does it mean? Well, number one, I'm Canadian, so True North is often how we sort of, think about Canada. But more importantly, our true north is, it's a sense of empowerment. And every Christmas, I want to provide myself in terms of time and company to anyone and everyone, because I know that even though the holidays can be magical and wonderful and filled with hope and joy, it can also be a really difficult time for many, many people. And I hope to be able to, throughout the Vlogmas series, provide you with some guidance, some wisdom, some hope, some laughs, some joy. And that's why I created this Vlogmas. So tonight is the kickoff. It is... Well, before I reveal that, you'll have seen the thumbnail already, but what I wanted to do, my goal this year, I try to change it up all the time. This year, I thought about, what does Christmas mean to me? And so what I did was I created a series of words, and those words are going to define, through the readings, what Christmas means to me and hopefully to everyone else. So, tonight, we are doing home. That's where it starts, right? The holidays start at home. No matter what holiday you celebrate, no matter, what kind of celebrations you have or what level of festivities you sort of enjoy, they start at home. And so, I should disclose in full. Hi, Gypsy JJ. How are you, my love? Merry Vlogmas. I should disclose in full detail that the original plan was to go outside and to build or to design, create, whatever you want to call it, a holiday planter, because, that's sort of like the first thing you see when you walk up to someone's home. It's a way for us to ground ourselves and to, touch all of the elements and to smell the amazing scents come from the fresh evergreens and the berries and so forth, and allows you to express yourself creatively, which is what you do in your home, right? You make your home a version of yourself, the place where you go to have that sense of security and safety, and you build upon that, right, as time goes by. And although that was my plan, and I have all the supplies to do, and I want to do that for myself as well as the channel, unfortunately, it is minus 12 degrees Celsius outside. So I would be frozen if we tried to do that tonight. So we've gone to plan B, which I had to come up with really, really quickly. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope it's going to be some fun for you all. And what we're going to do is sort of like a pick-a-pile vibe. And I have three kind of houses, right, on display here. Now, you can't see them because of the camera. And I tried to work it out, you guys. Oh, my gosh. Let's just say Vlogmas has started in, one of those kind of styles where I was having all kinds of issues. My camera is hanging like this. Lights are flashing on and off. Anyway, we're here. That's the most important thing. Everyone take a breath. Whew, okay. So I have three houses here. Okay. And each of these houses represent a particular sort of stage of where you might be, where you want to be, where you hope to see yourself, where you've been, what you've enjoyed and experienced, right? So when you go to request a reading, I want you to put in the chat, what house it is that you're looking for, right? What house you're thinking of, what house resonates with you, what house you think is cute, that kind of thing, okay? So first of all, we have this lovely sort of magical, sort of cabin, fairy tale-ish, sort of, secret hideaway in the forest. Can you imagine living there with the snow coming down, no noise, no people, just you and the snow and a fire and some hot chocolate, right? And nature all around you. Wouldn't that be fabulous, right? So the cabin. The second house is our modern sort of cookie cutter suburban kind of vibe, right? Hi, Faye. So, cabin, and the second house is suburban, right? The third house, or houses, is the neighborhood, right? The neighborhood, a collection of homes put together, right? Community, neighborhood, you guys get the vibe, right? So if you want a reading, I'm not going to tell you the cards that I have chosen, but you guys tell me in the chat what house resonates with you the most. The little fairy tale sort of cottage, so we're going to call that the cabin. The sort of modern cookie cutter suburban house. Or the neighborhood. But you can't help it. It literally makes me think of Mr. Rogers. Hopefully this makes sense to you guys. Hi, Sin. Cozy for the Hermit. Gotcha. Gypsy JJ, Cabin in the Forest. I got you. I've had that decoration for probably 15 years, and I just think it's the most adorable thing ever. I have ordered, those battery operated tea lights. They haven't arrived yet, but you put that inside there and it just sparkles, and it's I don't know, it's just very peaceful is what I want to say. So, before we do the reading, so are you guys into the Christmas spirit? Have you got, like, yourself decorated and ready to go? Shopping done? Don't care? Sort of in between? Where are you at? Let me know. No? You haven't done anything? Faye's like, no. The answer is no. I am happy to report that I am done in terms of, like, the whole house is decorated with the exception of the tree. The tree is up. We just have to decorate it, but we're giving the animals a chance to sort of get used to it. Because, as you all know, we had to put our oldest cat, Austin, down. And everyone is still trying to find their footing, and they're very skittish as of late. So I don't want to do too much. So I have to do it in increments. I'm waiting for some deliveries to arrive, and I'm very excited about all of that. But yeah, I've done really well. I'm really, really proud of myself that I'm so far ahead of the ball. I'll probably end up buying twice as much, because that's what happens when I do that. So Sin says, not really into Christmas decor, but I know we need all the light and joy. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, that's okay if you're not into Christmas decor. I personally love it. I cannot get enough of it. I've always been like that, though. Ever since I was a little kid, I can't wait to put up it's not even really the tree per se. It's just all of the other things, right? It's such a I don't know. I've been saying to my husband all week, like, I realize it's only Wednesday, but it's like, isn't it nice to come home to a festive house, right? Where things are shimmering and sparkling. I don't mean like flashing lights per se. I just mean, it's just festive. And don't laugh at me. This year I decided that I want to be like all the Hallmark movies, because they have like every room in our house decorated for Christmas, and I didn't grow up that way. It was like, we focused on the main room, which is where everyone was. But this year I wanted to do the bathrooms. So I've ordered us like shower curtains and towels, and then put some decorations in the bathroom. And my husband's like, okay. I mean, why not, right? Like, splurge for 1 month out of the year, big deal. But anyway, that's what's happening at my house. We're decorating the bathroom, so I'm very excited. What I did, I thought it was smart, is that I bought curtains that like just kind of look like winter-ish, not necessarily like Christmas, so I could like extend the curtain staying up for just a wee bit longer to justify, right? But I got them on a really good deal. I didn't spend more than I spent $14.97 on one and 21 on the other one. So I didn't think that was too bad. Sin says, if we miraculously have a new government here before end of month, I will celebrate to the nth degree. Otherwise, we're all worn down. Sorry, just came here. Oh, yikes. Sin, it's totally fine. I mean, and I love that you brought that up, because like, we all know what's going on, right? Like, whether you live there or you don't, we're all watching, we're all listening. And I know it's difficult to sort of wrap your head around that it does affect the rest of the world, but it does, right? What's going on in the US of A, it definitely affects what's going on around the globe. I think that's why it's so important that we started this Vlogmas series with home, because no matter where you live, you can create joy, like you said, Sin, and you can celebrate to whatever makes you feel comfortable, right? That's for you. That's for you. No one can take that away from you. Whether it's a single candle or, a set of twinkling lights that you buy from the dollar store. Maybe you make some snowflakes or a chain of garland with just construction paper and staples. I think that, no matter what, you can find your way around it, right? Hi, Linda. How you doing, love? Yes, Naughty Nana does. I love her. She's so cute. And her dog, Vivian, is adorbs. Absolutely. I actually started my own channel. I haven't done anything on it yet, called The Looney Lounge, because I got some thoughts and feelings that I don't really think are appropriate for my tarot channel. I haven't done anything on it yet, but sort of on the same vibe as Naughty Nana. She's great. Hi, Isadora. Okay, so while I have you guys here, just really, really quickly, I'm going to play well, I'm not going to play it. Well, yes, I'm going to play the little intro so that everyone knows what's going on. Vlogmas officially starts tonight, yay. And we're going from today until the 24th of December, okay? There will be pre-recorded videos like tomorrow and Friday. And then next Monday is a live, and then pre-recorded Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then lives will be on Mondays at 8 p.m. And then the pre-recorded's Tuesday to Friday. Okay. So you guys know all of that. I'm just going to play this for a second. And I have to upload it first, in case you guys haven't seen it. Spread the word, share it with your friends, tell everybody. and then we'll do some readings, and I'll explain to those guys that those of you that just popped in what's going on, so you can follow along. I'm just waiting for my video to upload because I was messing around with my camera that is now in pieces. Yay. That's what I'll be doing after the stream. All right. Here's a little sort of Vlogmas run through. All right, so that's what's going on, right? There's a short, it's on the channel. I put that out as a video on the channel, like a actual video that I posted. So if you guys forget the dates or you're confused or whatever, you can watch that. And without further ado, let's just really quickly explain what we're doing tonight. Okay, so we're talking about home because that's where it all starts, right? That's your foundation, that's your security, that's where you look for support. That's where you create your own joy and your own story, right? And what I thought I would do is bring some visual aids. And so we have 3 houses, okay? And now I've already explained, but I'll explain it again because there's more people in here. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate it. So 3 houses. First house, this sweet little sort of cabin, fairy tale looking ski chalet cottage kind of vibe, right? We're calling this the cabin. Okay, this is where you're out in the forest, you and the animals and the elements, with a cozy fire and some hot chocolate. Next up, we've got the suburban sort of cookie cutter house, right? And lastly, we have the neighborhood, right? Where it's bright and it's colorful and, you know, there's all kinds of things to do and activities and so on and so forth. And so what I want you to do is, if you want a reading, not for the people that already put it in, but for the new people that have just arrived, if you want a reading, I want you to put in what house you resonate with, whether it's the color, whether it's just how it looks, whether you've been there before, whether that's where you want to go to, that's where I wish I lived, whatever way works for you. You tell me what house resonates. Now, I have card piles in front of the houses. I'm not telling you what they are, but I have card piles in front of those houses, and I'll pull from those card piles depending on what house you tell me that you're interested in. Hopefully that makes sense. Hi, Ellen. Happy Vlogmas, my dear. Happy Vlogmas. Nice to see you as well. So, pick your house. Do we need to see the houses again? Isadora wants one. Okay, I got you. Ellen, do you need to see the houses? You let me know. Okay. So, this is the cabin in the woods, where it's just you and the elements, the animals, a cozy fire, and a hot chocolate. This is the suburban sort of cookie cutter house. And then this is like the neighborhood, so like the city sort of thing, right? So whichever one resonates with you. Linda wants number 1. Everybody wants the cabin. I love it. Cabin, cabin, cabin. All right, so, and another cabin. The cabin's getting a workout, friends. The cabin is getting a workout. Okay, so I've got Gypsy JJ, a cabin. We've got Sin, a cabin. We've got Isadora, a cabin. We've got Linda, a cabin. And Ellen, a cabin. Have I forgotten anyone? Anyone not want a cabin? I feel like Oprah. Everybody wants a cabin. That's hilarious. I love it. Okay. Here we go. In no particular order. We're just hitting the button. And we're gonna stick Gypsy JJ up there, and we're gonna go. I gotta find my notes. It is a crowded cabin, but you know what? The more the merrier. Did you like how I did that, Isadora? Did you like how I did that? All right, friends, here we go. It is so nice to be with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing part of your week with me, your night with me. I truly appreciate y'all. Hi, Diamond. It's nice to see you too, my friend. How have you been? All right, so here's how it goes. Isadora. The first card out is, we're spelling the word key, right? So the first word out is, or first card out, you have the Six of Swords, right? Six of Swords is sort of, you know, moving away from troubled waters, being able to sort of see through the fog, if you will, right? Things seem to be slowing down, making more sense, sort of becoming more clear. And so what I want you to think about in terms of the houses, right? So this card sort of reveals to us what positive energy, what tradition, or what beautiful memory I want you to sort of keep and nurture right now, in a manner of sort of keeping your home's foundation, right? So maybe something needs repair. Maybe the living room needs to be painted again, something of that nature. Keep looking at your home in sort of like, you are my safety net, right? You are my peace and tranquility, just like the cabin, right? And so it's almost like a cartoon up, I feel, like with the Six of Swords, right? Like you want to do for the house what you know needs to be done to let the house know that you love it back, right? That you care about its foundation. All right, next we have E, which is established. So this card is sort of talking about like the practical step, or maybe even a boundary that you need to sort of establish this week to ensure that you feel safe and stable in your house. As Sin mentioned, like there's so much chaos going on that, you know, we need to create, if we don't already have that, and we really need to sort of reinforce that space that makes us feel safe and sort of, you know, away from all the outside chaos, right? You know, when you go on a trip and you come home, or even if you've been away for like just like a long day of shopping or something, and you come home and you're like, oh, it's so good to be home, and you sort of put your feet up, turn the TV on, or have a bath, or whatever it is that you do. It's that kind of feeling that this particular card speaks to us about. And you've got the Chariot, and the Chariot is all about, you know, keeping the balance between that feeling of things moving almost like too quick, and trying to balance it all so that you can manage, right? The last card, sorry, the last card is, excuse me, yours. It's a Y for yours. So what you can claim is truly yours, right? A piece of mind, privacy, or something that you feel like you might need to protect, if that makes sense. And you've got this lovely energy of the King of Wands. So the energy of the King of Wands is, you know, motivated and inspiring, sometimes theatrical. They're ambitious and they take a leadership role. And I don't know if your house is like the hub where people come to, you know, like where you're the host. Like, I don't know if you're the kind of person that's always inviting people over, or people are always knocking on your door to come and visit. But it feels like if I'm picking up that part correctly, then what this card is asking you to do is just to maintain your boundaries, right? That you're not giving out too much to other people and saving some for yourself. I think this whole reading for you, Isadora, is especially at this time of year to create that place where you're putting in as much as you're getting out of it and still being able to maintain, this is my house where I show to people, but it's also my sanctuary, right? I hope that makes sense. I did pull an oracle card for you, and I've got the Beast Spirit and Prosperity. So the prosperity to me means that, you know, you sort of stand there and you look at your home as, you know, you're sitting on a treasure. And I kind of love that. I got you, Diamond. So I hope that makes sense for you. I kept saying Isadora, I'm so sorry. I meant Gypsy JJ. But you know what? I'm going to give that reading to Isadora because obviously that was a message for Isadora since I kept saying her name. I am so sorry. I'm not in charge. Spirit is. That's all I can say, friends. That's all I can say. Spirit's in charge. I'm not. All right. Now we're going to do Gypsy JJ. So I hope that was clear. That reading was for you, Isadora, even though Gypsy JJ's name was on the screen, because clearly your name kept coming out of my mouth. So that message was for you. All right. Totally confusing. What a great live, Kelly. Can't help it, friends. If that's what Spirit wants to happen, I guess that's what's happening. All right, now this is for Gypsy JJ. Whoop. The spirits have spoken, right? Now, see, this is what's interesting when everyone picks the same pile, because all the readings are going to be different. Say hi, Quincy. Shh, don't tell them we're here, or you want to jump on the desk. So, your first card out, Gypsy JJ, for the K, is also the Six of Swords. Okay? But it changes because of the rest of the cards here. So all the same things that I saw before, don't stand on the keyboard, okay, honey bunny? Okay. All the same things that I said before to Isadora are true for you, right? Things are looking up, and I don't know if I'm vibing this right. I'm not trying to read into the card, but I almost feel like you've done something recently. Like, have you done like a room makeover? Or I don't know, maybe you put up, like, just like changed your bedding or something. You've done something at home, I feel like, that has made you sort of look at it with like a new sort of renewed, like, oh, I just love it now when I walk in this room. I love the way it feels. Like, that's how I feel for you. And this card is about keep, right? The positive energy. So keep vibing that positive energy, right? If you walk into a room and you're like, I love the way this room makes me feel, keep that energy about you, because you can spread that energy around the whole house. That energy then does what? You start to wear it, and then you bounce it out to other people, right? Next, for your establish, we have the 9 of Cups, right? This is your wishes coming true, wish fulfillment, joy, blessings, right? Dreams coming true. Pay attention to signs and synchronicities, my friend. If you're getting dreams or numbers, pay attention to those, right? So this card shows us the practical step or clear boundaries that we sort of need to establish to ensure our safety and our stability. And I think with the wishes coming true and the joy and the blessings, I think that for, how do I want to say this? I want to say to you that, like, keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, meaning like you're making wishes and you're manifesting things obviously within reach, right? Like, we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but it doesn't stop you from dreaming, right? So here's the thing. I how I like to explain what I'm talking about. So let's say you want to, like, renovate your house, for example, but you don't have the money, right? You're never going to have the money to renovate. That's okay. Draw it out on a piece of paper. Imagine yourself in it. Think about how it would feel. You know why? It's not about whether it's ever going to happen or not. It's a creative outlet. It lets you express what you're feeling. Maybe when you sort of draw up the new floor plan, let's call it, you can see why, or think about, why is that space important for me? Maybe you can find a corner in the house without renovating it to make that corner happen. Or, multi-purpose a corner in a room that's already occupied. Do you understand what I mean? So it's a way to make your dreams come true without taking a leap that's not really ever going to magically happen, right? Keeping it real is what I want to say. Your last card is the Y in key, which is yours, right? So reminds us to sort of claim what's true, the peace, right? And I love this for you, the 6 of Wands, right? This is self-recognition, and this is success and victory. And I sort of feel like I'm standing there, and I want to take you by the shoulders and move you over to a mirror, right? And when you look in the mirror, you're not necessarily seeing yourself. You're seeing what you've done, what you've accomplished. And I go back to that thing that I said in the beginning. I don't know if it's true. If you've done a room makeover, changed the bedding, there's something, the home just feels more joyous all of a sudden, right? So I feel like something's been done or changed to invite more joy. And that when you walk in the door, you just sort of like wear that like a coat. And I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to see what you've done. And I want you to appreciate it. I want you to smile at it. I want you to like really soak that in, and to literally put it on like a coat and wear it. Because it's, when you do stuff like that, when you change your bedding, when you paint a room, when you decorate, when you put pillows out, it's a reflection of you and your personality. It's indicative of your energy. And so when you look around your home, right, that's you in all of your glory. Whether all the rooms are the same or every room is different, it's you. And so soak that up. That's where you find your peace. is by seeing yourself reflected in your home and knowing that you did that. That's what I got for you, Gypsy JJ. So I hope that that makes sense. All right, let's go to Miss Isadora. Oh, no, sorry, I already did Isadora. I gotta unstar those, pardon me. We're gonna go to Sin, is what I was going to click on. Let me know if this makes sense, you guys. Nobody's saying anything, so I hope that you guys are following along. I apologize if it seems weird. It was plan B, as I said. Plan A was to go outside and build a planter, but it's like flipping freezing outside. It was -1 today, and tonight is -12. Welcome to Canada, friends. But you know what they say? We could have northern lights tonight, depending on where we are in Canada. We have snow, all kinds of snow. It snowed here from Thursday to Monday, like midday. And then it's just been crunchy ever since. Hi, Johnny. Oh, that did resonate? Excellent. It is cold. But, you know, I'm Canadian. I can handle it. But yeah, I couldn't be building a planter outside in -12, talking and holding a camera. There would be nothing left of me. All right. And we're only starting Vlogmas. Oh, and now my camera's going. Friends, you know there's a full moon tomorrow, right? I'm just saying. All right, here we go. For Miss Sin. All right. Like I shuffled the cards. You've got for the K, which is your keep, right? This card reveals what positive energy, tradition, or beautiful memory you are sort of wanting to sort of keep and nurture right now to protect your foundation, right? You've got this sense of like pride, I want to say, in your dwelling in you know, like your style and the way that your home feels. Keep that appreciation. Remember what I said before about that, you know, when you come home from a trip or just like a long day and you put your feet up and you're like, oh, it's just so good to be home, right? Keep that vibe. Keep that vibe. Your next card is the Page of Cups. It totally is, Diamond. It totally is. Which is established, right? This card shows us the sort of practical step or clear boundary that we need to establish to ensure this feeling of safety. God, I can't speak. Safety and stability. So the Page of Cups is, you know, being aware, really is what I want to say, right? Listening to your intuition, having insights into things that are sort of more energetic than they are like spoken. I don't know if you ever find yourself, you just like, I don't know, you just like sort of walk into a room and you look at it and you're like, I love it. And then you sit down and you're like, you know what? I just need to move that pillow over here. And you get up and you move the pillow over there and then you sit down and you're like, I feel so much better. And it doesn't feel like I did anything, but energetically you did something. I don't know if that resonates or not, but that's what I vibe when I'm reading this card for you, Sin. I know you said you're not much into decor, but you hopefully you get what I'm saying. Hi, Nancy. How are you, love? All right. And lastly, with the Y, the yours, the final card reminds us to claim what is truly ours or yours, what vital piece of your peace and privacy needs to be protected. And you've got the Two of Cups. So I love that, Sin. See? Yeah, I get that. So, with the Two of Cups, it's like collaborations and cooperation and partnerships and sharing this space. And so, I don't know how to say this in a way it might sound, I don't want it to come out bad, but this, I'm just being honest with what I'm feeling. It's like, oh, you know what? I would love to have a whole bunch of people over for like a dinner party, but they got to be gone by 8 o'clock. I don't know if that makes sense for you or not, Sid, but that's kind of what I'm vibing. So I guess what I'm trying to say, if I'm right, is, you don't have to have 20 people over for a dinner party. You can invite 5 people over for a hot chocolate. You know what I mean? That's how you can protect your energy and protect your privacy. I feel like you want to share, but you might be concerned that you might overextend yourself or overshare. And so just sort of be careful that way. Sorry about the camera. I don't know what's going on. You can tolerate a little company. I love it. I mean, the point is like, say you want to have people over, but like you're like, oh my god, and then I got to clean up, and there's so much to do. So you sort of talk yourself out of it, like right out of it. As soon as you talk yourself into it, then don't be elaborate with it. Just like bring it down. People come to be your friend and to experience your energy and to share in some laughs with you or some traditions with you because they want to, not because they want to look at the inside of your house, right? My good friend, Mr. Johnny Tarot's Apprentice, said to me one time when I invited him to a big celebration that I had, that, we're not just here because we like you. We're here because we want to be, kind of thing. And I think that that's the point, is what I'm trying to get to. All right. Oh, sorry, Nancy. What we're doing is you tell me what kind of home you resonate with when I show you these homes, and then tell me if you want a reading. You put it in the chat. Okay. Here we go. Ready? We've got the cabin. We've got the suburban cookie cutter. I bought visual aids, Nancy. Visual aids, my friend. And we've got the neighborhood sort of city vibe going on. So if you want a reading, just put like, cabin or suburban or whatever. Yeah, I hear you, Sin. I hear you. I'm gonna share. I'm just gonna share for a minute. If that's okay with you guys. So, every year I travel to my sister's home. And we have Christmas together. And I love my sister and my nieces and my brother-in-law, and I love their home, and I love being part of that, that tradition and that experience. But I'm older, and it's a long drive, and it's a lot for me personally with all of my issues. No, you can come up here. I'm not necessarily thrilled to report that I haven't been in a car since last January, but that's the truth. And we have to take our dog with us, and our animals have already had a difficult time since Austin passed. And it's just a whole lot of stress that I don't really feel is necessary. And I want to be able to enjoy my time with my family. I want to be able to enjoy the moment. And I feel like I can't if I have to be put through all of that just before I even like get there to experience that, right? Now, I am not saying that I'm not willing to do it, because I've done it for years. So I am willing to put in the effort to because the reward is much bigger. But this year, I hope to be able to invite my sister and my nieces and my brother-in-law, obviously, to my house. But I am nervous about that as well, because I'm not as old or agile as I once was, and it's a lot of work. But I'm excited about the possibility, right? And I had to talk myself off the ledge. Like, I don't have to put on a full Christmas dinner. I could just have, finger foods. It could be Saturday afternoon kind of thing. Like, I don't have to shoot for the moon, right? Their company is what I want, not, like, ooh, look at my house. Do you know what I mean? And they've never been here before. When we moved here, we moved at in the end of August, I think. Yeah, the end of August. It was total fixer-upper. You guys have all seen the pictures. It was awful. And they couldn't come. And then COVID happened the next year. And we all thought that it wasn't necessary, to travel and to see each other because of that. And then the following year, they all got COVID. So last year they were away on vacation, which was wonderful. Their whole family for Christmas and the New Year celebration. Oh, thank you, Linda. I miss him so much. It's been so difficult. He was my bestest buddy. Yeah. So my whole point is, like, I get that whole thing, but the reward far outweighs any kind of like stress that I have. So I'll make a decision either way. But what's good about it is that I'm able to, like, be excited about it rather than like, oh God, I dread it. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Back to work. Isidore says, my mother would say, just spray paint the cobwebs gold. I love it. No, listen, we got to do that sometimes. You know what I mean? All right, Miss Linda. Miss Linda wants a cabin reading. Miss Linda in the cabin. So, does anyone want to guess what some of the words are? What some of the next... Like, what do you want to know about Vlogmas? I mean, I have to tell you guys, without getting overly emotional, I realize I haven't done it. I'm going to get emotional, sorry. Christmas is a really big deal to me. And for as long as I've had this channel, I understand that Christmas isn't all about joy and celebration. For a lot of people, it's a really difficult time, myself included. And so I want to be here for whatever that means, right? I want to provide you with just a place where you can come and feel good, right? Hopefully. Share a few laughs along the way, get some guidance, and you're welcome, Sin. Blessings, my love. And every Christmas I try to do something different. And this Christmas I decided to, after thinking about what does Christmas mean to me, I decided to do like a series of words. So all of the readings will be a series of words. So tonight is home. Next Monday night is, where's my chart? Because I have a schedule. Next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you write it down, is tree. It'll be pre-recorded videos Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. After we get done this week, of course. And we will end on the 24th. And I hope that it provides you something. I feel like I did my best to coordinate a list of words that make sense and sort of take you on a journey. So if you're having a good time, it's only going to help. And if you're having a not so great time, hopefully it's going to give you a little boost and give you some sort of spiritual tools to help fill up that toolbox that we all talk about, right? That's the goal. And also, on a secondary note, but still very important to me, I feel like I've let all of you down this year. I have not been consistent, and I have no excuse other than I haven't been. I am so grateful for the people that have stuck with me. I've clearly had some challenges this year. I have a new plan moving forward into the new year, and I will do my absolute best to stick to that schedule. And I just appreciate your support, your love, and your sort of helping hand as I've navigated all of this stuff that's been going on, sort of behind the scenes. So I just wanted to say that's why Vlogmas is here, and that's why it's important to me. So I hope that you guys are getting something out of it. All right, so this is for Miss Linda. Miss Linda in the cabin. All right, so the first card you got out, Linda, is the Hermit, right? This is your K card, I'm going to call it, which is your keep, right? The card that reveals sort of the positive energy. I think that I hope that this makes sense what I'm going to say, and forgive me if I'm sort of being like too personal, but it's like things are not the way that they used to be, and you wish that they were. You hold them close to your heart, and I think that sometimes it makes you sad, although you understand that like it's different. Specifically, with the Hermit card, the Hermit carries that lantern, which is the light, which represents your inner wisdom, right? You know that there's a path ahead, but the light that the lantern has that you're shining out is just enough to sort of see your way, step by step by step. And that's, design. That's not an accident. That's not by mistake. Because you're still in the process of putting the pieces back together, right? Like it's been a bit, but you're still in the process. And when it's this time of year, it's difficult, right? Because that's exactly where we go to. We go to family and traditions, and there's people missing, right? So something that I learned in therapy a long, long time ago was when I think about like Christmas and my mom's not here and my dad's not here, rather than just think about that and then get upset and go, nope, not doing that. No, get lost in the details. Get very specific about that, whatever that memory is. That was mom's favorite dish, or that was dad's favorite song, or whatever. And I remember when he danced that, when he videotaped it, and oh my gosh, blah, blah. You get lost in the details, and before you know it, you remembered the part of the memory that you held on to for the reason that you held on to it, because it made you happy, or it made you laugh, or made you think, or made you feel, right? So understand that it is what it is, and you know that. But it doesn't mean that you can't carry on her traditions, your sister's, or you can't think about, you know, I'm going to make this favorite dish because that was what she did. I don't make it the way she did, but, you know, I'm going to give it a go. And that's how you sort of keep her as part of it, which keeps you happy about it, right? Hopefully that makes sense. The next card is your E, which is your establish, right? And you've got the renewal card, or the justice card in the, not the justice card, sorry, the judgment card in the traditional tarot. This card shows us the practical step or clear boundary that we need to sort of establish for ourselves. And this is, now, you know, I'm not really into reading keywords off of cards, but this card, if you can see it, okay, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. Literally what you just said in the chat is literally what it says on this card. Right? It's all about forgiving the lessons of the past that we individually view as mistakes. And y'all know how I feel about that word. There are no mistakes. There were maybe, like, you know, not great decisions for the moment, but what did you learn? Right? You learned something. You know how we perceive that we took 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward? Says who? That's how we feel, because it goes against what we hoped was going to happen, but that doesn't mean it wasn't supposed to happen that way, or we didn't learn something from it, right? You got to forgive yourself for whatever you're holding on to. Keep doing those releases every day, every week, every month, whatever it takes, until you feel the weight of that burden leave you. Because you deserve to not be carrying around a burden that isn't yours to carry. Even Quincy says so. Even Quincy says so. So do that release, right? That's your boundary. Your boundary is to do the release so that you don't continue to carry that weight, right? You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be happy. Lastly, the yours, right? The final card reminds us to claim what is truly ours, right? What sort of piece of our inner peace can be sort of, or needs to be, protected. And you've got the King of Wands, right? You've got to be compassionate with yourself, my friend. You've got to be compassionate with yourself. Like, you know who you are. You know what you bring to the table. You know that you're loved, and you just sort of have to see what other people see in you. And just, you know, flaws and all. Flaws and all. Like, hi, it's me. Like, right? What did you all say to me? Kelly, we're here for you. No one needs to do it alone, right? Come as you are. You guys have always said that to me. It's okay to be me. If it's okay for me to be me, it's okay for you to be you. Just be yourself. All right. We have Ellen and then Diamond. Ellen picked the... You know what? I'm going to do Oracle cards for Ellen. I don't know why, but that's what I'm feeling. So tell me in the chat, what does Christmas mean to you? Sum it up in like maybe I don't know, 4 or 5 words. What does Christmas mean to you? If you had to string a sentence together, what does Christmas mean to you? If you don't celebrate Christmas, any reason to celebrate. You're welcome, my friend. Blessings back to you. Just so you know, Ellen, it's not like I'm like, ooh, Ellen gets oracle cards. I had a tarot deck and an oracle deck for every single one of the houses. And my plan was to interchange them, but it didn't really go that way. And I just saw your name, and I'm like, oracle card it. That's what I'm vibing. Oh, I'm so sorry, but Spirit is here because my nose is running. I mean, of all the ways for Spirit to affect a reader, and I have to get a runny nose. I love that, Ellen, and my camera is glitching, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to fix it, obviously. Ooh, I love these cards. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. So, first card is the key, right? Card reveals sort of your positive energy, your tradition or memory that we want to like consciously sort of keep and nurture right now, right? We've got guardians of the land and protection. So when it comes to your home, it's the knowing, right? I think it's the knowingness, the understanding that behind that door, behind those walls on the other side of that is the chaos and the, you know, whatever. But on the inside, I control this environment, right? I decide the paint, I decide the furniture, I decide the food, I decide the decor, I decide the music, I decide, you know, the plants, the sunlight, like I decide, I'm in charge. And so you can create an environment for yourself where it is peaceful, serene, nurturing, protecting, right? I think safety and security is of the utmost importance to you. And so remembering and reminding yourself, if you need to, that you're in charge in that, in those, you know, in that space within your dwelling is really important to you. The next card is E, which is establish, right? So this card shows us the practical step or the clear boundary that we can sort of establish, or maybe we need to establish, to ensure that feeling of safety and security. And we've got the owl, spirit, and wisdom. I just love this card. It's so pretty. It's very festive looking as well, I think. So we've got wisdom, right? I think the wisdom part of this for you, Ellen, is like, you know, like, I know what's going to go, and I know what's going to happen, and I know, like, no matter what, I'm going to be okay, like, because I know, like, I know within me. But the boundary that I might need to remind myself is not to ignore that knowing or that wisdom. And I think that every single person, you know, can resonate with that to an extent. We are all capable, and sometimes often do, in my case anyway, where I will allow myself to go down the rabbit hole and hit the panic button, even though I know that, like, I can't control that stuff. And so really, really, if you have to sort of like do a back and forth with yourself, you know, like oh gosh, I got to go out and I got to do this and I got to get that and I got to go here and I got to do there and whoa, right? I just want to be at home with my feet up and drinking a hot chocolate, watching a Hallmark movie, as an example. Then work it out. Online shop, right? I'm going to do it all this day with a buddy or whatever. Like you control it so that you don't freak out about it. Therefore, keeping that boundary and that feeling of safety, right? You don't have to let something come into your space unless you want it there, I guess is what I'm really trying to say. All right, last card for Ellen, the why, the yours. It's asking or reminding us, of to claim what's truly ours or yours, the piece of our inner peace or privacy that needs to sort of be protected. And we've got the willow spirit and flexibility. So just look at all these cards. Look at the colors in these cards. It's all Christmas colors. I mean, if you're into the traditional Christmas, the greens, the reds, the golds, I mean, they're stunning. Just gorgeous, right? And the flexibility is being able to navigate that, like what goes on out there is out there, what goes on in here is in here, and in here I'm not going to let anything mess up my vibe, mess up my energy, mess up my sanctuary, my sort of peaceful, unplug, if you will, from the world. And I want you to, like the cabin, right? If you rented this cabin, if you saved every penny that you had extra in a year to be able to rent this cabin for 24 hours, because that's all you could afford, and you've been looking forward to it, you've been telling everybody, you've been thinking about it, you've been packed for it for months, and you get there, are you going to let anything get in the way of you enjoying this experience to the fullest? 100% no. No, you're not going to let anything mess with that. That's the kind of energy that I'm talking about in terms of this flexibility, right? When to and when not to. So you're flexible, but you are also very like, there's my line. So as we approach this holiday season, treat your home like the sanctuary that it is. I feel like if you were a plug, you would be like just kind of standing there, not in a receptacle. You would be unplugged. Like the minute I came home, I pull the plug, right? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that whole reading for you. Just unplug, unwind, and just be in your space and feed off of your space. Because as I said, throughout all these readings, it's a reflection on you. I love exactly what Linda said, which was much more eloquent than I could have ever said it. Create sanctuary for yourself where you can feel safe and loved. Your home is your sanctuary. And again, I'm not trying to like make this longer or share too much, but when we talk about home, I think it's important because this world seems very much like there's no boundaries anymore for anyone. And I feel like we just came from a time where everyone was trying to be politically correct and like, don't say anything that you think might be, taken the wrong way. So we've gone from one extreme to the complete other extreme. There was a time when I was embarrassed by my home, and it was a horrible feeling. I didn't like it. I didn't like anything in it. I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't I didn't want anyone to be in that space. I came from a home where everyone said every time they came in that they felt welcome and it felt cozy and it felt warm, to a house that I was just like, no. I'm not saying I didn't try to make it, lovely. That's just the way that it is. And I knew something internally before my mind sort of let me know that I knew something, if that makes sense. Didn't stop me from trying, like I said. In fact, one night, I'll share a story while I have a smoke, and we have 2 more readings to go. We were sitting outside at the fire pit, as we used to do, because we can enjoy a lovely fire pit here, as you guys know. Well, before fire bans happened all the time. And we were sitting on the fire pit. I don't know, it was like a Saturday or a Friday night. It was like, 11 o'clock at night or something silly. And my husband had a coffee, right? So he had his mug. And his mug is like this color, like this rusty burnt sort of cinnamony color. And anyway, our house was just a really horrible color on the outside with like chocolate brown trim. It was just like a really weird, I don't know, like a weird color. Like I can't explain it. It was just ugh, right? And so anyways, we're sitting there and we're talking about all the things that we would love to do to the house if, we won a lottery. I mean, let's face it, if we won a lottery, we wouldn't be living there, right? But anyway, and I said, you know what? Go hold that coffee cup up to the front door. He was like, what? I said, go hold that coffee cup up to the front door. So went, stood by the door and held the coffee cup up against it. And I said, go get a gallon of paint tomorrow at the hardware store and get them to color match it to your cup, because I think that's the color for the front door. And so we would do things like that to make the changes that we needed to make in, to hopefully make it like cozy and warm. But it never felt right. I can't explain it. It just never felt good or right. And he's in the chat now. Hi, honey. And thank you, Ellen, for saying that's very kind of you. The house we live in now is like, I love my home and I'm very proud of it. And most of you know that this was a total fixer-upper. It doesn't look like anything like it looked before. And when I came in here, I designed it, and now it is exactly what I designed. Like, for example, my kitchen, what is now my kitchen, used to be a hair salon. Like, when we moved in, the hair salon was still there. Chairs, brushes, curling irons, mirrors, sinks, dryers, shampoo, you name it. Yeah. So when I say that I designed it, I mean, I actually did design it. Like, that's, I'm not exaggerating that, but so I understand the not loving your home and also loving your home. And I understand not everybody has the ability to design their own home, right? Like, look at me. Like, you can still do things to make and put your own stamp on it, similarly to what I said when I gave Sin her reading, and I was talking about, like you make a paper chain or you make some snowflakes out of paper, whatever it is. It's just, maybe you get one of those crafting kits and you make a gingerbread house, or you make your own little ceramic houses for villages, and make a village for yourself. Whatever it is, you can do something that fits a budget, that just, creatively lets you express yourself and sort of bring a vision to life. That's what this whole experience was, obviously on a much bigger scale than, making a paper chain or some snowflakes with paper. But hopefully you guys get my drift. All right, Ellen, or not Ellen, sorry, Diamond. So sorry for the long wait. Mark is working hard. Is it snowing out? I was telling these guys, Mark, that I wanted to do the outdoor planter, but like it was going down to like -12 tonight, so I didn't think me freezing on camera was a great way to kick off Vlogmas. So I was like, no, it's okay. I'll stay inside where it's toasty and warm. All right, I'm gonna do Oracle for you as well, Diamond, and it's supposed to be cold, you guys, for like the next 2 weeks. Like silly cold, like -17, -15. We don't get a break. But like I said, it's supposed to be northern lights and that we can possibly see depending on where we live in Canada. So I'm trying to be positive. Yeah, exactly. Don't go outside, Isadora. That's what I'm saying. Stay inside, Kelly. So hopefully everyone is going to tune into the pre-recorded videos. There'll be one out tomorrow and one on Friday. And then on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, don't forget, we will be live. And I hope that you followed the Vlogmas. I hope that you have enjoyed tonight's live. I thank you all for being here. Beautiful cards for you. All right, here we go. 4 diamond. Sorry, my mouth is dry. My nose is running. I'm a hot mess. I'm not sick. Like, I had no problems. But this is how spirit communicates with me. Is by making my nose run. Honestly. Like, it's not even funny. Although it's hilarious, but... You know, other people get chills. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Your first card, I'm cracking myself up, is what's happening over here. Your first card is Keep. This card reveals what positive energy or tradition or beautiful memory you're going to want to try to consciously keep and nurture right now to sort of protect your home's foundation. And we have this beautiful card of Pegasus and transcending. Now, I want to ask you something, which may seem bizarre. Have you just sort of like decided, like, you know what, like, I've always been into like the traditional Christmas tree and now I want like a modern kind of Christmas tree or something along those lines? Like, I want to change the whole way I decorate and not really sure why. Or like, I've always liked, you know, totally. Okay. I just I just feel like I'm sitting there. Like, this is what I feel when I read that card for you. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm on my phone and I'm swiping and I'm watching all these shorts of the people, you know, the people with all the trees and the decorations and the whole thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, now I'm in the store and I've just bought all this stuff and I don't even know why I did it, necessarily speaking, right? Like, it wasn't like you sat there and went, you know what I'm going to do? It just kind of happened. I love that you want to incorporate your own traditions. I love that. So I think what's important, so you recognize that you want to start your own traditions, and that's sort of like the energy of the transcending that you're wanting to nurture. Like, why is that important to you? What about starting your own traditions means something to you? How does it make you feel, right? When you think about, like, 25 years from now, like, someone's still going to be doing X. Is it because because it's like a feeling? If it, you know what I mean? Like, think about that and keep that alive. Like, don't just be like, oh, I just changed, right? But like, really think about why you're doing that, because I think it will make it more meaningful and sort of build the excitement up. Because I love that you're doing that for yourself. Hi, JR. How are you, love? Happy Vlogmas. Or Merry Ho Ho. All right, your second card, right? The Establish. This card shows you the practical step or the clear boundary that you need to sort of establish this week to ensure your safety and your stability. And you've got this beautiful card. Do you see that? Wise Woman of the Grove and Grace. Look at, like, literally looks like a picture of Christmas right there, with that beautiful red and the green and the gold coming through, right? So this all stems from your traditions, right? You want to start your new traditions. You want to sort of like present yourself in a way that will be remembered and appreciated and loved and sort of thought of fondly. Like, oh, remember when she did that? You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting, and it's making me quite emotional, but in a way that, like, I think about my grandma. My Nana did these like amazing things and always provided us with this foundation where we felt like we were like all in it together. Like, that was her special skill, is making, everyone come together. And so if you feel like, someone like, why are you buying all this stuff, right? You're spending too much. You're overthinking this. Like, if you're talking about it, you're all excited. You're talking to your friends and they're like, looking at you like you're crazy. Just turn off that noise. You're doing this for your reasons that you don't need to explain to anybody, as long as you have, the resources to do it, right? It's your business. And if this decision that you make happens to promote and provide traditions that will continue on for years, then Merry Christmas to me, right? I guess what I'm trying to say, Grace, don't let anyone stifle your enthusiasm. Don't let anyone rain on your parade. All of those kinds of cliches, right? Talk to the hand, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, don't let anyone crap all over your enthusiasm to create your own joy. Do not ever, for anyone, ever let anyone suck the joy out of you. Don't ever let that happen, right? Lastly, your third card is yours. The final card reminds us to claim what is truly ours or yours. What vital piece of your inner peace or your privacy needs to be fiercely protected. Look at the cards that you got tonight. You got Transcending, Grace, and Transformation with the butterfly spirit. You have evolved into something that is more meaningful behind, Merry Christmas or 'Tis the Season, right? You have evolved into family and traditions and creating one's own joy, creating memories and nostalgia and traditions. Sometimes that comes with age, sometimes that comes with wisdom, sometimes that comes from loss, sometimes that comes from chaos, Sometimes it comes from a dream that you just had and you don't even know why, but you find yourself in the store going, oh, you know what? Like, let's throw all the old stuff out. Let's start again. Like, ooh, have I got a plan? It doesn't really matter why. What matters is that you honor it because it's important to you. And if the people around you get in your way, as the card previously before the transformation said, make sure you give yourself some grace. Because sometimes people can be really tricky at Christmas. You know what I mean? But I think it's beautiful. And I think you have fun with it. And I think you literally just like harness all that joy. The joy that you are creating for yourself and for your future self. Just thinking about all the fun that could be had by people in the future, by the things that you're doing. I mean, that's like chef's kiss for 2026 and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, that's some solid, positive, beautiful energy. I love that. What an awesome way to end a live stream. That was awesome. Most of my extended family is gone, not here, so heck yes, I'm doing my own thing now. Laugh out loud memories for all now. Yep. Hey, I just read the cards. I read what Spirit gives me. You all know I'm not in charge of that. Thank God. If I was in charge, it would be a bad situation. But you're welcome. I know what you meant, and I appreciate you very much. So, you know. Oh, thanks, love. I'm glad that it resonated. That's the whole point. I mean, you know, we gotta do it, right? We gotta do it. We gotta create our stuff for us. It's okay to have, you know, traditions, because sometimes that's how we connect, right? I was sharing with my husband yesterday that I watched this woman who does she's doing a Vlogmas show, and she's from England, and she was showing us a Christmas box, and that she prepares this Christmas box for her children. Apparently you get them when you're born and you sort of have them forever, and she has hers, or her mother has hers, or something. And I was like, I never heard of a Christmas box before, but I love the idea of it, right? And I mean, how did tradition start? Tradition started because someone thought of something, and then someone else saw what that person was doing and decided then to do. I mean, that's why we have Christmas trees. That's why we have wreaths. That's why we have lights, right? That's why we have turkey, because it became a tradition because someone else thought of it. And I don't know why, but as human beings, and I'm generalizing this statement, we have a tendency to sort of like poo-poo, for lack of a polite way to say that, on positive change. We really do. And we need to like expand our horizons, right? All right. I decided to pick up the Yuletide Tarot and pull us just a couple of cards as sort of like a collective for this reading. And here is what I've got. Speaking of traditions, and I love what I got, because, you know, there are times as a reader, as a content creator of a tarot channel, whatever, like I don't even know what my label is, but y'all know what I mean, that you hope that your authenticity, that your ability, you know, kind of comes through the screen and people get it. You have times like tonight where something happens and you're like, okay, see, yep, I got that. So we're reading tonight on home, right? And what home means. We've got the 9 of good cheer, right? This is the 9 of cups. Wish fulfillment. May all your dreams come true. And where is she? She's sitting at the dining room table with it all set for the festive meal, right? She's in her home where people gather, where friends and family come together to love each other, to be loved, to support, and to be supported, right? To create memories and traditions, right? And to have an overall joyful experience. And then we got the Four of Candles. The Four of Candles is the Four of Wands. And what is the Four of Wands? The Four of Wands is the happy home card, right? It's joy, it's blessings, it's celebrations, it's love, it's your home, it's your family. It is, see those 4 candles right there in the wreath? I often refer to this card as like the happy marriage card. That's a gift from Spirit to tell me that even though this was a last minute switcheroony as to what I was planning on doing, and I'll be honest, I felt a little like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, that Spirit saying, well done. Well done. Because home is where we provide the space, the opportunity, and the environment for joy, for love, for friendship, for celebrations, for traditions and memories to reside, to grow, that then stretch outside the house into other people's houses. And for the first night of Vlogmas, I kind of love that message. I kind of love that message. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here on the first night of Vlogmas. My heart is so filled. I was going to say full and filled. Full and filled with joy. So thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed it. Tomorrow there will be another video. Friday there will be a video that comes out. Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be here or be, as they say. And I will see you for our next live. Until then, I will send you many blessings. I hope you have a happy holiday. And make sure you hit thumbs up. Hype the video if you have the opportunity to do so. I keep seeing that on YouTube. I've only been able to hype one video because I don't know where the heck the button is. But when I find it, I do it. Anyways, from me to you guys, have yourselves a wonderful night. Mwah! Bye for now. Thanks, everybody.